Hey guys, so this week I have the privilege of making the Worthy Wise video, and hopefully I could do as good of a job as Lily and a better job than somebody else. Um, the lesson this week is lesson 6, and the words are super easy, so I'm going to try to go through them fairly quickly because I know you already have to put up with me for 40 hours a week. The last thing you want to do is hear me for an extra 15 minutes. And like I said before, I will be associating every single word with Brandon because it's just easier to remember, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. Hopefully you will too. So let's get started. The first word, actuate, to cause to put into mechanical motion or to cause to take action. So with the first definition, for example, whenever you plug a machine into the wall, like a mixer or a radio, and it starts to work, right? Because you put it into mechanical motion by plugging it in. Whereas the second definition, to cause to take action, that's anything that makes you take initiative and take another step. So the word action and actuate go hand in hand because they sound kind of similar, action, actuate, action, actuate. So that's an easy way to remember. And so, for example, when Brandon messaged me and says, hey, we're going to have a show in LA in a couple of weeks, we need it to sell out. It caused me to take action, right? Because I will start going around town, putting up all sorts of posters, or even just going up to random people and being like, hey, you, do you know the Airs? No, you don't? That's okay. You should still buy a ticket to see them live. And I cannot tell you how many times people have stared at me like I'm an absolute lunatic, but I don't take it personally because let's be real, me and you both know I am one. I'm not even denying it. The next one, brackish, made up of a mixture of freshwater and seawater or having an unpleasant taste. So with the definition about the waters, you'll see a mixture of the two a lot in fish tanks, and they have the freshwater aspect to keep the tank clean, whereas the salt water is there because it allows the fish to better adapt to the environment because they're obviously used to this whole seawater idea. The second definition, having an unpleasant taste, that's basically anything that you don't find pleasant, your palate does not enjoy it. So for me, that would have to be broccoli or celery. Not really my thing. The third word, cognitive, relating to mental processes such as awareness, remembering, and reasoning. So if you took a psychology class, you obviously went into a little more depth with cognition, and it has to do with your brain and mental processes and how that function and your capability of remembering things or making good judgment, having good reasoning, or being aware of a circumstance as it's happening. And so, for example, whenever I tell you guys stories about Brandon, it's because of my cognitive memory and my cognitive skills that I'm capable of recalling those incidents and reiterating them to you. So whether it was that phone call, or that concert, or that date, whatever it was, I'm able to remember that. The next one, dissertation, a lengthy, usually written discussion of a topic, often for college or university degree. So right now we're in the process of applying to colleges. Yay! And our personal statements can be considered dissertations, right? Because it's pretty long and they're written discussions about a specific topic. So whether it's you as a person, your favorite subject, or the things you've done as a leader and whatnot. So that could definitely be considered dissertation. Or whenever you're moving on to get a master's degree or a PhD, they'll usually have you write a dissertation that is on a specific topic that usually has to do with your major. So for me, if I were to move on to higher education, I would probably have to write a dissertation on something that has to do with public relations and communications, journalism, music, band, that time I interviewed a band, or whenever I went on tour with the band, maybe the Airs, no. Hopefully, I wish. I should really talk to them about that. So yeah. Delirious, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's causing or marked by pain, misery, or sorrow. And, whenever Brandon posts a really cute selfie or messages me something really sweet, and, it just caused me so much pain. Literally, I will be messaging Julie like sobbing, okay? No, that's true, but in all seriousness, you'll see this a lot in things like books or movies that are really sad. So you'll see it with characters in the Titanic, or A Thousand Splendid Suns definitely fits in here, or even just paintings. And you'll see it like a person's visage on a painting. It'll be like super sad, and you can literally feel the pain and sorrow and misery. The next word, endemic, widespread or peculiar to a certain place or among certain people. So this could definitely be the Irish potato famine, right? So I know you're probably wondering, how in the world is she associating the Irish potato famine with Brandon? Brandon's father's side of the family is actually Irish, so haha. But with the Irish potato famine, it was particular to that region, right, to Ireland, and to specific people, the Irish people. And so it was widespread among those people in that place. So it could definitely be considered endemic. The next one, fecund, producing or capable of producing many offspring, or intellectually and artistically productive. So the first part, producing many offspring, super self-explanatory, not getting into it. Humans, animals, yeah. The second part, intellectually or artistically productive. Julie could definitely be considered into this because she is super artistic. Brandon, obviously, because he writes his own lyrics, he produces his own music, he makes his own beats and rhythms, and he adds his own guitar and drums and bass and rhythms, and I don't even know, all of that, synths and whatnot, 808s, in order to create some sort of artistic masterpiece. So he could definitely be considered creative. The next one, genealogy, a history of family and how its members are related to one another, also the study of such family histories. So the root word, gene, has to do with your DNA, where you come from, that whole family tree idea, and I'll tell you a little story. So once upon a time, there were the Italian Consolo family, and there was the Irish Hudson family. And so they each had a kid. One of them, with the Hudsons, was named Kenneth, whereas the Consolo's daughter was named Sandra, and these two worked at Omni Advertising. They fell in love, sparks flew, they got married, they moved from Florida to California and had 4 kids named James Brandon Hudson, Savannah Jo Hudson, Sierra Hudson, and Raina Hudson. There you go. Now you know the entire genealogy of the Hudson family. You are welcome. The next one, inbred, deprived of a good sense of judgment, especially as a result of imbibing alcohol. So this is anytime that you are incapable of making a rational, reasonable decision. This happens a lot whenever you are under the influence of alcohol or drugs even. So, for example, if you were to get drunk, no, wait, that's not legal. If somebody were to get drunk, they're incapable of making a good decision. They might be like, okay, I just partied really hard, time to drive home. Not a good idea, but they're not capable of understanding that, okay, that probably isn't the best thing to do. Or if you're really angry, you might yell out something or do something that you really don't mean, but it's because you are incapable of making a good decision in that moment. The next one, insidious, seemingly harmless while actually being dangerous, treacherous, or deceptive. The second definition, spreading harmfully in a subtle or gradual way. So for the second part, spreading harmfully in a subtle way or gradually. So if you were to get termites in your house, they tend to spread over time and they can cause a lot of harm. Whereas the first definition, something seems harmless but is actually super dangerous and treacherous. The best example I could give for this is fangirls. Not even kidding. You think they're all cute because they support their, they support their favorite band, and, they buy all the merchandise, and, we take pictures, and, we're there at the venue 12 hours early, and we're all cute and sweet, and we're all teenage girls. No. We are terrifying. If you try to in some way insult any of us or try to insult the band we like, or, say their music sucks or their outfits suck, or, the way they look is not aesthetically pleasing, or, it's just not really your taste and they're not good enough for you, we will come after you. I'm not even kidding. We will hunt you down and murder you, okay? We seem harmless, but we are actually terrifying people. So, beware. Basically, moral of the story. The next one, interloper, one who intrudes on or interferes in the affairs of others. So this is definitely somebody who is snoopy, nosy, wants to know everything. You'll be having a conversation with someone and they'll come right smack in the middle of the both of you, trying to understand who you're talking about, what you're talking about, what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, and all of that. So whenever me and Brandon will be talking about something, and my mother will come right smack in the middle of the both of us and start to ask questions as to what it is we're talking about, which is, great. Wouldn't you want your mom stepping right in the middle of you and somebody you like, right? Woohoo, fun, no? Anyway, the next word, precursor, a person or thing that comes before and indicates the approach of another. So you should already know this word, hopefully, precursor, beforehand. So this is definitely something that can be associated with foreshadowing. So It's someone or something that comes and gives you some sort of insight that something is going to happen in the future. So, for example, if Brandon posts a bunch of pictures of him recording something in the studio, it's obviously a precursor that the Airs are going to be releasing some sort of single or album or EP very soon or something in that category. So it's a precursor. The 13th word, presentiment, a feeling that something is about to occur. So you get this feeling that it's about to happen, something's about to happen. So if you put a book on a table and you see it gradually sliding across the table, you know that, oh my God, you have that presentiment, it's about to fall. Or whenever the lights come down at a concert and the curtain starts to rise, you get that presentiment, oh my God, Brandon's about to step on stage, those neon lights are going to shine on him, and he's going to be like this glorious Jesus-looking figure, and he's going to bless you with his music and his aesthetically pleasing looks, and it's like, ah! Literally, that is my reaction. Kids in the class can vouch for me. The next one, ramification, an outgrowth of a simple idea or plan, a resulting development or consequence. So with the second part, it's some sort of consequence or aftermath, a result of something. So whereas the first part is a outgrowth of a simple idea or plan. So whenever you outgrow a simple idea. So with the Airs, they initially started out with Brandon and Savannah, and they just knew that they wanted to be singers, right? It was just basic. They were like, we're making a band, naming it Brandon and Savannah. We're going out there. All we know is that we love to make music. Gradually, over time, as they got older and they experienced more things and they sort of started understanding themselves better, they outgrew that simple idea and they started to create something more complex. So they decided that they are the heirs to the throne, which means that they're next in line to take over the music industry. Because, you know, you hear all these people saying music sucks nowadays, it's not good, it's this and that. And so as the heirs, they are in control and they are going to try to make something that we want to hear. Because, you know, we're the next generation. It's our duty to create something different. The last word, torpor, a state of mental or physical sluggishness or inactivity. So, you know, that kid in the class who's sluggish and lazy, doesn't want to watch the videos, doesn't want to write his forums, doesn't want to, you know, be aware or, you know, be involved in class. That definitely fits in here. Or, you know, the day after the concert when you wake up and you have like an extreme case of PCD and you're both mentally and physically like inactive because like mentally you're just like, that was the best day of my life. What's the point of even living if no day is going to live up to that? I don't even know. Like, I'm not okay. The post-concert depression is so real. But you're also physically inactive because you're just laying in bed. You're like, nope, I don't feel my legs. I was standing in line for 12 hours. I cannot move. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. All 15 words. Obviously, you know that note cards are due. I'm assuming it's going to be due Thursday because we're home Friday. And that's when the test will be as well. I hope you understood all the words. If you didn't, you know, call me, reach me, let me know. I'll try to help you. Or you can ask Ms. Kirkman if that's easier for you. I hope you also learned a bit more about Brandon and the Airs, which is also great. Woohoo! See you guys tomorrow, and yeah, have a great day. Bye.